It is 95 degrees outside. The asphalt is radiating heat, and you have an immediate decision to make about your cabin comfort. Every driver faces the exact same dilemma in the summer months. Do you turn on the air conditioning, or do you roll down the windows? For decades, the traditional advice has been strictly mechanical. The old school rule states that turning off the AC and rolling down the windows completely removes the strain on your engine, guaranteeing you save fuel. Then came the modern rebuttal. This camp argues that driving with open windows turns your car into a parachute, creating so much aerodynamic drag that running the air conditioning is the more efficient choice every single time. This comparison table reveals why both rules are incorrect. There is no single universal law for summer driving. Following the wrong strategy for your current road conditions will lead to unnecessary energy waste. Relying on a simplified one-size-fits-all rule guarantees inefficiency because the actual cost to cool your car depends entirely on the specific environment you are driving in. To find the most efficient cooling option, you only need to look at two variables: how fast you are driving and the type of powertrain moving your vehicle. These variables create the drag-to-draw ratio. It is a constant balancing act between the aerodynamic penalty of pushing an open window through the air versus the mechanical or electrical power required to run your air conditioning. As your vehicle accelerates, invisible physical forces on the exterior multiply. Speed significantly increases the effort needed to push through the atmosphere. Choosing a more efficient path does not mean you have to endure physical misery. A fuel-saving habit only works if it's practical enough to maintain when traffic is heavy and the weather is at its worst. Real, repeatable savings come from understanding exactly how your specific vehicle reacts to aerodynamic physics on the road. We can apply that physics directly to your daily routine by mapping out exactly when each cooling method is less wasteful. This quadrant chart maps driving speed against your powertrain, giving a clear view of the trade-off. We start with the urban commute, characterized by stop-and-go traffic under 40 miles per hour. The mechanical reality for internal combustion engines at these lower speeds is straightforward. In city traffic, opening the windows cools the cabin while placing zero mechanical load on the engine's accessory build. The trade-off for the urban driver is purely environmental. You gain low-speed efficiency, but you have to deal with increased cabin noise and urban air quality. However, the moment your route takes you onto the highway at sustained speeds well over 45 miles per hour, that equation flips. This chart reflects the massive aerodynamic shift that occurs at high speeds. At highway speeds, open windows catch the passing air like a parachute, creating turbulent drag that forces your engine to burn significantly more fuel. Compare that fuel penalty against the low, steady power required to run a modern AC compressor on a moderate setting, and the air conditioning becomes the better compromise. The speed crossover rule is simple. Use windows in the city, but switch to air conditioning on the highway. Your cruising speed determines your efficiency strategy. While those rules cover traditional engines, electrified powertrains operate under a different architecture. In an EV or hybrid, the air conditioning compressor draws its power directly from the main traction battery rather than a spinning engine belt. Because this energy comes straight from the same source used for propulsion, running the climate control creates a direct and immediate draw on your total power reserve. The result is a visible penalty to your usable driving range, which is often more significant than drivers expect. This range penalty is most severe on short, stop-and-go trips, where the system works constantly to lower the temperature, but the cabin never fully stabilizes. EV and hybrid drivers must treat climate control as a primary range factor, especially in temperature extremes. The heaviest energy draw always occurs in the first few minutes of your trip, while the system fights the peak cooling burden, the heat built up while your car sat in the sun. For gas vehicles, you can manually lower this burden by briefly venting the cabin with all windows open before you engage the AC compressor. Electric vehicles offer a more automated way to solve this. By pre-cooling the cabin while the car is still pulling energy from the grid, you protect your battery's range for the actual drive. Scheduling your climate control to finish right before you depart ensures the cabin is comfortable before you ever touch the battery. Reducing that initial temperature spike before you shift into drive is the most effective way to lower the total energy cost of your comfort. Improving your vehicle's efficiency over time relies on a system of small, cumulative habits tailored to your specific daily routine. This scorecard maps out the exact strategy to use based on your specific driver profile. For the city commuter, roll down the windows. Aerodynamic drag is negligible at low speeds, so take the free cooling. For the highway cruiser, use moderate air conditioning. The fuel loss to high-speed drag from open windows will cost you more than running the compressor. And for the EV or hybrid owner, precondition the cabin while plugged into the grid, then use moderate settings on the road to protect your traction battery. Pick the strategy that matches your dominant route. Anchor it into your daily drive and let the vehicle's design work for you.